So listen, I'm already on chapter 6, and let's do some catching up. First things first, I love this. I love that we're just right in the middle of the action. It's kind of wild that there's been a time jump because a lot has happened. Also, we're getting Liren POV chapters now. That's pretty cool. I like that. I don't know how I feel about, like, continuously adding more and more characters, because I'm just going to get way more confused. But Liren I'm cool with. Especially because he's out here harboring fugitives. That's great. And so, like, the Parshmen are now called Singers, and they were looking for Kaladin, which is interesting. And then they're, like, moving through the crowd and everything, and then Kaladin had his little, Luke Skywalker reveal moment of, like, oh, they're looking for Kaladin, I wonder where he is. And he's like, what up? And immediately just starts fighting him. That was awesome. But then he got stabbed in the neck like a bunch, like Gerard Butler and Law Abiding Citizen just like got him. Yikes! And then we got a Vale Shallan chapter, and it's interesting how, like, I guess enough time has passed to where she's all three all the time, and she can just like rotate the lens like an optometrist as to what we're looking at. But she wanted to get drugged or kidnapped, and then she did. And the Sons of Honor is this like new cult that's run by Ialai Sadeas, his widow. And I guess Amaram was also part of this, because Amaram was all about the heralds and everything else. But yeah, it's like a cult to bring back the heralds, and they call Ialai like she's the rightful queen. Please. Yasna's been queen since before she had the crown, if you know what I'm saying. I did like Kaladin's sort of Captain America moment with the Parshendi, or the Voidbringers, or whatever the shit you want to call them now. The Fused. There's Brandon Sanderson. There are too many names for these people. I'm just saying. But I like that sort of elevator Captain America moment of like, you guys really want to do this? Are you sure? And they're just like, yeah. And he's like, all right. And then they just start fighting. Cool. And then, come to find out, Lyn and Kaladin, I guess, were a thing. And in the middle of the battle, everyone's, like, checking in on him, be like, dude, you alright? And he goes, yeah, why? And it's because the breakup, they were checking in on him. But at the end, Kaladin mentioned something like, he didn't want to take it farther for whatever reason. So, like, were they a thing, and now they're not a thing? Or were they gonna be a thing, and Kaladin just never pulled the trigger? Whatever that is, an interesting development that I did not see coming. Also, another thing I didn't see coming was Kaladin acknowledging that he's a Bright Lord. And he's like, yeah, I mean, listen, I can't fight it. Look at my eyes. It's what I do. And there's like, the Radiants are like back, that's another crazy thing with this like time jump, is there's like 20 Windrunners, and there's like a dozen Edge Dancers, which I love. That Navani has her own ship, like, essentially airship, flying platform now. Like, what an entrance. And then the Edge Dancers all come out, and all the Edge Dancers are, like, cool sliding stuff, and Lift just, like, trips and, like, hits a wall. Incredible. But she grew a foot. Not grew, like, an extra foot, but she grew a foot taller. Interesting. Also interesting, Dalinar can, like, replenish Stormlight. Like, he's like a walking perpendicularity. Like, he can just... let's do this, and just refill people? That's crazy, but also very cool. And I imagine incredibly helpful. It's like, they're all playing, I've never played League of Legends before, but I imagine it's like League of Legends, where they send the Edge Dancers in, and then the Windrunners are fighting, and then Dallin is over here, like, healing people left and right, and like, shit's crazy. So then, Mraize sent Vale to investigate the Sons of Honor cult. But... wasn't Mraize, like, sitting at the right hand of, Ialai Sadeas? Right? Am I misremembering? I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So, if she's, like, the leader of this cult, why is he sending Shallan Vale, Valan, Shale? Why is she there if Mraize already has, if he's at the right hand of the woman who's in charge? I don't know. It was really funny that they were like, okay, you're going to have to swear an oath. And she's like, okay. And she swears the oath, and they're like, see, if she was a Radiant, this would be a real problem. So funny, because her whole thing is based on lies. And she's like, Yeah, no, I can lie all day long. This is kind of my jam. Fantastic. But they mentioned that there's an informant for them in Dalinar's court. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Also don't like Leshwi, the fused, or whatever they're called. If it's something different now, shit, I gotta get these terms. I gotta figure them out. Garrett made that great video, and it just... but Leshwi's spear, it said it was lined with like a silvery metal, and it blocked like shard blade attacks. Is that aluminum? Is aluminum just like the ultimate cancel all magic system in the Cosmere? Because it seems like a thing. Jasnah interviewed the two heralds, Taln and Ash, I'm assuming, because the last book ended with her walking towards them and they passed out. And she said that in this it mentioned that she has like more information about the heralds and the fact that like they never left. So she did that. That's cool. Teft has a big white beard and looks like a badass. I love it. I'm down for all Teft always. That dude is great, and he's got a cool battle beard now. Yes. But on a not yes. I understand that this might be some growth here on the character's point of view, and maybe I'm just not about the growth sometimes. But Kaladin kind of letting Roshone slide. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm just extra hateful for Roshone. But he even said that, like, Roshone being, like, a drunken idiot and doing, like, kind of this thing and, like, seeing how much he's fallen and now he wants to care about people. But then Kaladin said that Roshone can't be that bad because he basically is letting Roshone slide because he blames himself for Tien's death. Listen, this is something that, like I have mentioned in the past, this is an ongoing issue with Kaladin for me, is he blamed himself for Tien's death, even though it was not his fault at all. He literally did everything he could to be there for him. He enlisted with him. He was trying his best to fight with him and take care of him. He just didn't get there in time. But he was trying his best. There was nothing he did wrong. It was just a thing that happened. Elhokar's death, I was very surprised, in hindsight, that Kaladin didn't beat himself up over that. Because that... Listen. He is way more responsible for Elhokar's death than he is for Tien's. He taught Moash how to fight the way that he fought. He also, in the middle of the fight, stopped for a second because his friends were killing each other and like he froze. And then Moash killed Elhokar. Listen, if Kaladin was blaming himself for Elhokar the way he blamed himself for Tien, I'd be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. That was on you, dude. Like, not 100%, but a pretty good amount. So the fact that he's like, well, I can kind of forgive Roshone because, I'm also responsible for Tien's death. I was like, are you, though? Are you? Like, I get that it's his brother and he feels responsible for it, but also, that was kind of your king, and it was your job to protect him, and you didn't. I don't know. It was just really interesting, this sort of blaming himself for so long for Tien's death, even though it was not his fault, and then not blaming himself for Elhokar's death, seemingly at all, and then going back to Hearthstone and not blaming Roshone anymore because he's like, well, I'm also responsible for Tien's death. Shit, no, you are not, dude. 100% Roshone's fault. 100%. And so, hey, you know what? Maybe Kaladin's just a better person than I am because Roshone can catch... I almost said it and it got banned again, but I didn't. But Roshone